Hej og velkommen til Jødisk Orientering. Jeg hedder Michael Raklin, og jeg er redaktør. I dag skal vi tale om en ny film i biografen, der hedder Persian Lessons, eller Persiske Lektioner. Der handler om en belgisk jøde, som bliver fanget i 1942 af nazisterne og overlever en masse nedskydning ved at påstå, at han ikke er jøde, men iransk perser. For det viser sig, at der er en herre i SS, som netop leder efter en perser til at lære ham persisk sproget. Og den her unge mand overlever krigen ved at opfinde et sprog, som han angiver at være persisk. Historien er delvis bygget på sand historie, og vi skal snakke med instruktøren Vadim Perelman, som vil fortælle os lidt mere om den. Først skal vi lige se et lille klip fra filmen her.
Du heißt Reza. Jun. Nachname. Was ist das? Baff, baff.
Baba heißt Vater in meiner Sprache.
Wie heißt die Hauptstadt von Persien?
Teheran.
Welche Sprache spricht man dort?
Farsi.
Was heißt Mutter?
Mutter.
Mutter. Ja, was heißt Mutter? Das ist das Erste, was man lernt als Kind. Antwortet, ich lasse dich auf der Stelle erschießen.
Hunter.
Lies mir etwas raus vor.
Ich kann Farsi weder lesen noch schreiben. Wir haben es zu Hause nur gesprochen.
Dann sag etwas auf Farsi.
Let's start with your movie. You said it says in the beginning it's inspired by real events, but you really can't help wonder which part of the story is accurate. What do we know about this guy who's in the movie, and did he really invent this language in a concentration camp during the war?
He's I mean, you really have to ask Wolfgang, who wrote the story that this was based on, the invention of language, Wolfgang Kohlhausen.
Mm.
But my thought is, and I spoke to him, my thought is that it's more of an amalgamation of a lot of these incredible survival stories that were, obviously existed. And specifically about language, not sure. So you can never tell. That's why we didn't say based on real events, but inspired by true. Inspired by true events. It was a bit of a loophole there. But you could very well believe it. I think that it did happen, and many people do actually. I mean, crazier things have happened during that time. It was such a incredible time, and human nature and Jewish human nature is so full of survival stories, throughout our history. So I could really see it happening.
But there will always be this discussion about when you make a movie about the Holocaust in this area. How much liberty do you have to interpret? How much liberty do you have to put the loopholes in the stories? What are your thoughts on that? Did you have any second thoughts about it?
No, not at all. I think that it's important to tell the stories. I think it's important to tell the history and to keep telling it. So that it's already enough films about the Holocaust and all that. You can't say that ever, because you need to keep repeating it. You need to have people who don't quite know it, who have forgotten it, who who are misguided about it. You need to tell them what exactly happened so that it, God willing, will never happen again. And how you tell it, it's, you can tell it in the way that Jojo Rabbit told it.
Yeah.
You can tell it in the way that Life is Beautiful told it. You can tell it as a fable. You can tell it as a ballet, for God's sake. As Showa, 8-hour documentary series. That doesn't show one single old photograph or clip of film. I mean, there's many ways to tell it. I just chose this way because I thought it was quite powerful. And I don't think, we're not documentarians. We're storytellers with a common goal.
Nach dem Krieg will ich nach Teheran. Ich möchte dort ein deutsches Restaurant eröffnen.
Im Iran isst man kein Schwein.
Ich brauche kein Schweinefleisch. Ich kann alles zubereiten. Hammel, Kalb, Fisch. Mit 12 Jahren habe ich als Küchenjunge angefangen. 10 Jahre später war ich Chefkoch. Chefkoch. In einem Restaurant, das jeden Abend 150 Gäste bewirtete.
Farsi ist eine schwere Sprache, Herr Hauptstammführer.
Gewiss. Deshalb habe ich mir einen Plan überlegt. 4 Wörter am Tag, das sind 24 Wörter in der Woche, 96 Wörter pro Monat und 1152 Wörter im Jahr. Der Krieg dauert mindestens noch 2 Jahre. Das heißt, bis Kriegsende habe ich einen Wortschatz von über 2000 Wörtern. Mit Schreiben und Lesen will ich mich nicht beschäftigen, ich möchte nur sprechen lernen. Verstanden?
Ja, Herr Hauptstammführer.
Und noch etwas. Wie du bereits bemerkt hast, bin ich ein gutmütiger Mensch. Aber ich lasse mich nicht zum Narren halten. Solltest du nicht der sein, für den du dich ausgibst, dann finde ich das heraus und töte dich.
Yeah. Another important choice you made in this movie is that all the figures here are human. Even the SS people have good and bad sides, and they have love stories and that. Tell me why was that important to you?
Because I think because they're more human, it makes us connect as a viewer to them, because we always try and I wouldn't say empathize, but connect on a human level to understand them. And when you understand somebody, I think you can be more horrified by their acts. So you can say, my God, would I have done that in the same situation? If you see the human qualities, throughout history, speaking of Spielberg and everybody really who made the Holocaust films. I'm talking about films. With books, there are some exceptions, but in films, every time you see that a Nazi is portrayed as a robot, killing robot. He yelled, raus, raus, schnell, he's spitting, he's smoking, he's drinking, he's shooting people. He's just a killing machine. But that has no feelings, no humanity really, except to kill. And I think that dehumanizes them to such an extent that I think you kind of, I mean, it sounds horrible to say, you take them for granted. You go, well, that's what Nazis do. They're evil, and that's what they do, right? That's what they did. And by showing their human qualities, by going inside more of their history, their personal history, their jealousies, their loves, their connections to other people and so on, you go, oh my God, they were just people that were doing that instead of some programmed robots. There were people that were doing that. And I think that, long answer, but I think that's what it makes you condemn their acts even more.
So in a way, it gets even more hard to understand. Yeah,
I'm hoping not hard to understand, but horrifying.
Horrifying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like a person who can. Well, it's the old Eichmann thing.
Yeah.
It's like when you know, oh my God, he's living there with kids and with everything.
Yeah.
And you go, holy shit, this is the guy that did that, in his at his office,
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I wanted to show is the bureaucracy of that whole machine.
Yeah.
The whole the mundane office politics and the the boredom of bookkeeping and stuff. So it was because it's also true.
Also the banality of the thing, the banality of evil.
Banality of horror, the banality of evil. I think there's actually
Yeah.